I'd like to welcome to the program lawyer and conservative activist Rogan O'Handley, along with founder and president of the Internet Accountability Project, Mike Davis. Gentlemen, welcome to you both.
Thank you for having us, Jen.
Rogan, I think I know why the left is so scared of Elon Musk taking over Twitter, because, he isn't in lockstep with one party. I mean, it's now being reported that the House GOP has asked Musk for Twitter's documents relating to the Hunter Biden laptop, which, of course, they censored. 1 in 6 Biden voters have said, and we've mentioned this on the show before, that they would have switched their vote if the laptop from hell hadn't been censored. You're in ongoing litigation with Twitter. Please elaborate with us to, the progress of that, if you can, and also how afraid is the left that they're going to be exposed for collaborating with big tech?
Well, we are about to see a waterfall of damning information from Twitter that implicates so many Democrats and corrupt members of the government across the board. I think that's why they wanted to stop this acquisition so bad, because when the GOP takes power, they have subpoena power. And instead of wasting everyone's time like they did with the January 6th committee, we're going to actually hold corrupt government accountable, especially in the executive branch. And a lot of that flows, as we're seeing, through censorship. Collusion is going to be stopped. So I think we all are waiting about that, and I am currently in litigation with Twitter. We're in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. We have our oral arguments on December 6th. Harmeet Dillon is representing me, the great Harmeet Dillon. We caught the state of California requesting that Twitter censor me for election misinformation. That's what I was banned for. So I am just one of many thousands of conservative Americans who have had their rights infringed by their own government.
Mike, how do you see the solution, so to speak, playing out here for Twitter? Because, Elon Musk has said this can't be a free-for-all platform. There has to be some kind of regulation. But when you look at these fact checkers, they're almost always biased, in favor of the left and not in favor of anybody on the right. So what does that look like going forward when we look to Twitter, we look to platforms like Twitter for free speech, especially as we approach our elections?
So when the Democrats, the left, talk about misinformation, disinformation, content moderation, what they want to do is censor, silence, deplatform, cancel conservatives and others with whom they disagree. This is great what Elon Musk has done by purchasing Twitter. It's a bad investment for him, but he's doing it for the right reasons, which is to promote free speech, online free speech. The bigger solution is we have to break up big tech. We saw with Parler. Before it was, if you don't like Twitter, build your own. So Parler did that. It quickly got a $1.3 billion valuation. So what did the left do? They blamed Parler for January 6th, even though the protests were organized on Facebook. Google and Apple kicked Parler out of the App Store duopoly, and Amazon kicked Parler off the internet. So there goes your build your own argument. They're going to try to do that again with Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter. We need to break up big tech so they do not have the power to throttle free speech online.
So what does the new conversation, what does the platform look like now, Rogan, when you consider there are so many platforms out there? As Mike just said, you've got Parler, there's Getter, there's Truth Social, and a handful of others. Former President Trump said today in an interview that he will not be going back to Twitter if invited. He's going to stay on Truth Social. So what does that look like? Because now Elon Musk is also saying if you got a blue check, we're going to charge you. First it was $20, now it's $8. How do things play out going forward? There are people that are threatening to leave Twitter if with Elon's takeover. What do you think that it all looks like?
Well, I've seen a lot of conservatives gaining tens of thousands of followers. Not myself, because I'm banned off the platform, but I'm very happy for them. It seems like the brakes have been taken off, and there are going to be some idiots and some bad people who want to say really horrific things on Twitter. A lot of times, these are leftists as well. They go sign into an alternative account, they post these horrific things, then they go screenshot and say, look what these MAGA people are doing. They love to blame us. They did this with Glenn Youngkin. They dressed up like the Tiki Torch guy. They love to play this game. But conservatives are really focused on trying to get the truth out there. And, I will just say on the Paul Pelosi intro, Nobody wants political violence. People on the right have denounced that all over the place. But you know what?
Right.
I didn't see those tears when Rand Paul was tackled in his yard. I didn't see those tears when Steve Scalise was shot at a baseball game. I didn't see those tears when Antifa and BLM were burning down cities and killing dozens across this country. And I certainly have not seen those tears with all the people who have been injured by being forced to get injected with a vaccine that they did not want. Myocarditis, pericarditis, we are seeing people die suddenly. Where are the tears for that type of violence? That's what I want to know.
Well, Mike, let me ask you this. Obviously, the GOP wants answers. If they get those answers, what does accountability look like at this point? Elon's gotten rid of the top executives there. Who's accountable at this point for any information that was suppressed that should have been out there for the public?
Well, it's a violation of the law. It's a violation of 1983 civil rights statutes for the government to collude with private actors to censor Americans. So if we have evidence, which it seems like there should be, of the Biden White House, the Biden DHS, the Biden Health and Human Services colluding with Twitter and Facebook and Google and the other big tech platforms to censor Americans for COVID misinformation or disinformation. That's a First Amendment violation. That's a 1983 violation, and there will be a legal price paid for that.
Well, we'll look forward to watching that play out. Rogan O'Hanley, Mike Davis, greatly appreciate you both being here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
And coming up, Pennsylvania is the must-win battleground state. The red wave